The daily news is filled with stories of leaders who inflict their lack of wellness on others through inappropriate behavior. The consequences of their behavior can and do cripple the people and organizations they're leading. Unfortunately, I can tell you dozens of stories of unwell leaders I've encountered that prove the point. That's why I begin the Lead Well 10 with this. To lead others well, you have to be well. I believe that the first key to successful leadership is self-awareness, which leads to self-mastery. You must lead by example, not by living the life of do as I say, not as I do. Unwell leaders let their egos get the best of them and adopt an egocentric, smarter, and holier-than-thou attitude that ultimately leads to a failure to treat others fairly. No one is perfect, I understand that. But by leading yourself first and ensuring that you are the best role model possible, then owning your mistakes and failures, those you lead will be inspired to follow your example. A case in point. In the Navy, when a new officer takes command of a unit, the occasion is celebrated with a very traditional change of command ceremony. I attended one of these events along with my unit's commander toward the end of my career. The new commanding officer of one of our subunits stood at the podium, telling everybody how great it felt to take command and build on the history of those who had come before him. He literally held the Holy Bible in his hand as he spoke of how Jesus had helped him and his family get to this point. Weeks later, my commander called me into his office and closed the door. "Hey, boss," I said, "what's going on?" "One of my commanding officers got arrested last night," he replied, "and I need some guidance from you." "What happened?" "He got arrested for soliciting a prostitute." He didn't want to share the name, but I figured it out quickly. It was the guy who had stood on the podium holding the Bible in his hand, thanking Jesus. "What do you think I should do?" my commander said. "Well," I replied, "what would you do if it was me? What would you do if it was a junior officer or an enlisted troop? Whatever you would do to them, I would expect you to do to this guy." My commander's excuses followed. "He's eligible to make captain. I don't want to ruin his career. I think I can cover it up and no one will find out." Of course people found out. A friend in the CIA once told me that a secret is only kept between two people when one of them is dead. What the guy had done was completely wrong. He had not only broken civil law, but he had also violated the Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, military law. By the way, based on previous disciplinary actions my unit commander had taken, if the arrest had involved a junior officer or an enlisted troop, he would have hung them out to dry. In the end, my commander swept the arrest under the table just the same. The guy who'd gotten arrested for soliciting a prostitute ultimately made the rank of Navy captain and retired. I was flabbergasted. Where was the accountability? What message did that send to everyone in the unit? The best leaders lead by example. They don't say, they do. They don't tell, they show. They don't scream, they inspire. They aren't hypocrites, they are consistent. They don't lead from behind their desk, they lead by being a presence in the field or the shop floor. Why? Because if you're saying one thing and doing another, everyone knows it. The people you're leading will see right through your bullshit, and I can guarantee that you will fail. To lead well, you need to be well. This means the first person you need to lead well is yourself.